remind yourself that this is something that Brother DeBar does not teach, sorcery, witchcraft, and things. So don't go tripping on that, all right? Because I'm not about that. Much people, they say different things. I don't do that. So you'll have different structures here, and you begin to see how these things become. And what happens is you begin to understand what each one of these columns represent and mean. Then you begin to understand the ancient letters, the times in which they are, the so-called alchemy as far as when the symbol dealing with the zodiac and this ram. Then you're dealing with the certain new moons, the certain structures, the certain signatures, and then the vibrations of those would be right in this realm here. This one represents a spectrum of light, meaning that agate, even though the black one is here as the one that deals with the structure of the birthstone, this is also a stone that has the rainbow colors that connect to the rainbow body. And it also has the Samanel, which is the connection of insight. So then you begin to understand the insight, the development, and you know what's going on. The water, and the air, water, fire, etc. These things that happen. You know what the garnet is, the sea stone. You know the principles of them. You know the colors. Then you begin to take on these things, and you'll be able to tell these things. Now be careful, because where it got into the balsamic moon or the other structure, we have the new moon. We don't deal with the balsamic moon or the quarters, or we don't deal with the full moon. We understand the perspective of the full moon and this and that. We don't do this. We're not of the structure where they deal with the full moon and witchcraft, sorcery, the Wicca, the, what do they call that other one? My goodness. What is it called? Gnostics and things of that nature. We don't do that because we're not about the full moon, reflective. Now, let's go from there. We're dealing with this level, and then when you're dealing with these things, you have a lot of structure. So here I explained the time taken for the moon to orbit the earth from one new moon or full moon to the next is known as a certain Sa'adi in the lunar moon, okay? And then the lunar moon is 29 to the certain structure of the days, the Western calendar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I get into the academia of it, but I don't want to go to that right now. And then I break down the goddess and all this other stuff that deal with different structures. I don't get into that now. I talk about your powers and what they are, and the reference to where they are. I give you a reference of the breastplate and what their stones really have meant. But then I break down here and I explain on this chart for you. You have where Pisces really, when you're dealing with this, is a certain time frame, and then you're dealing with the structure. So that was there for you on the chart to have. Then I deal with this because I try to show you how things are, and I'll break down the structure so that you'll be able to understand those things. Then on top of that, I think that's it. Yeah. That's it.